sorry, I guess this is take 2. I forgot that this one I gotta like move around every now and then, or else it just the screen conks out, which is why I put on the video games. Anyway, so just in case you didn't watch my other video, which I brilliantly quoted The Simpsons, you can go, I'll just start all over again, but you can watch that video too. Why not? Just give me more minutes. I just need 4,000 hours of views every year. Is that too much to ask? I have 1,000 subscribers. That means everybody just has to watch 4 hours a year, right? And if I'm going to get to that, I got to make more videos, right? The thing is like 90%, not 90, but like 67% of my viewers, there we go, are not subscribed. So if you're watching this and not subscribed, well, I can't exactly ask you to subscribe. I can't even ask you to like it. It's up to you. Do you actually like it? So press like. Do you want to subscribe? Press subscribe. You know, that's how these things work. But comment. Everybody can comment. Even if you think my videos are horrible, you can put a comment about how horrible they are. You know, what's wrong with that? Then we can, I mean, here I am. I'm responding to a comment by making 2 videos. How many YouTubers do that for you? So you make a comment, I'll most likely make a video to answer it, because it's easier to make a video than to actually like type on my phone, you know, little phone thing, you know, or to go and get my computer up high so the kids can't get it, you know. So I gotta figure out where I can mount this so it's not wobbling around all the time, or whatever it is. Excuse me. So xMorningShadowx, thank you for your great comment. Your question was, you mentioned that you believe that people want to control your schooling. What do you believe is the reason is for this? And my answer, I was starting to say, actually, how did I even get to The Simpsons? Now I know how. Certain people, particularly Nick Muster, and a few of his other fake handles on Twitter and Facebook, and one Mr. Medis, and a few other Apikarsim, are fighting against our schools. People who grew up in these schools, and they don't like it. And the answer in a normal liberty-loving American sense would be, well, you don't like those schools, don't send your kids to those schools. Send your kids to whatever school you want to send them to. But don't go and take away our freedom to send our kids where we want to send ours, to what schools we want to send them to. And that's the problem. I mean, there was actually an article in one of these blogs or something basically saying, well, the parents don't care and the parents should be penalized for this. And, you know, this is child abuse, this is whatever it is, you know, and like the problem's the parents, the problem's the schools, the problem's this, the problem's that, problem. It's a free country. We have freedom of religion here. This is what this country was founded on. Do we want to go back to the days where they locked up preachers for preaching without a license? You know, the Baptist ministers down in the South, but when England ran everything, they would preach and the Church of England didn't like it. And what happened? They locked up the preachers and they would preach Sunday morning out of the bars. And hundreds of people would gather around outside the jailhouse just to listen to a preacher preach Sunday morning, because they wanted to follow their own conscience and not what the government tells them. And the Democrats want to put us back 300 years, back to how things were when England ran things. That's what the Democrats want. And thank God we have President Trump, who's standing up for us, standing up for the rights of the people. You have every right, Mr. Muster, to send your kids to whatever school you want to send them to. You have every right not even to have kids. You have every right to go and not keep Shabbos. I don't give a damn. This is a free country. Just let me be me and I let you be you. And that's all. But like the Kutzker said, if I'm me, because you're you and you're you, because I'm me, then I'm not me and you're not you. You gotta be you, I gotta be me, and that's how these things work in America. Excuse me. But commies, outright commies. It's not ironic that I call Nick Muster a commie. He talks about economic equality. He talks about children's rights. Nonsense. I mean, children have rights, but this children's rights movement is not, Lisa Simpson also, she's like, Bart, you've sent back children's rights 20 years. Well, in 20 years you won't be a kid anymore, and then you'll get to try to be the adult and mess up just like our parents did, and that's how it works. This is America. We don't need the government bossing us around, telling us how to raise our kids. We have private schools. We choose specifically not to send our kids to the broken public school system. When my Baba, Aleh Shalom, was a kid, the public schools, first of all, they separated boys and girls because they understood you don't need these distractions. They open with a prayer. I don't care if it was from the Christian Gospels, from what they call the New Testament, what they call the Lord's Prayer. It's a good prayer. It's not a prayer I would say in my daily prayers, but it's got everything. It's a pretty Jewish-sounding prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, Yiskadol v'yiskadol Shmei Rabbo, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done, thy kingdom come. That's our Kaddish. And then other things, give us this day our daily bread. Sein lechem chuki. It's all our Avinu B'Shamayim. It's a Jewish prayer pretty much. It's not in our liturgy, but not that I'm saying that's what. I'm just saying this is what went on. And my Baba, Aleh Shalom, she used to say, when it got up to the point, like, lead us not into temptation, they would, like, joke around, there's like, please lead us not into Penn Station. I don't mean to be disrespectful, I'm sorry. The Pope is changing the Lord's Prayer now, so what, if the Pope can do it, so. Anyway, I think the Archbishop of Canterbury changed it too. No, he made it gender neutral or something. Who knows? Anyway, that's fine for them. It's not for us. But in those days, at least, there was a modicum, an attempt at modesty, at recognizing that there's a higher power. And all that stuff is gone now in the public schools. And that's why they're killing each other. That's why there's school shootings. Neil deGrasse Tyson said, it's a scientific fact that prayer doesn't prevent school shootings. And my answer to that, from a rationalist point of view, forget about this spooky hocus pocus stuff, which I believe in. I believe in the power of prayer. But even if, God forbid, someone would say there is no God, and there are people who say that, right? They could at least recognize that a belief that there's somebody upstairs watching you who says thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not, right? Thou shalt not bear false witness. A belief that such a thing exists is positive for society. It's not to say even the people who believe that are always going to live up to it. But it makes life and society better. To believe that there is an ultimate reason why it's wrong to murder and wrong to steal. Not just because you're afraid you're going to go to jail, but because there's something bigger than that. And reinforcing that through verbal exercise, prayer, asking God, lead us not into temptation. Even if you don't think it, even if it's not real, which it is, just people living like that and believing that is positive for society. It makes society a better place. And so at the very least, in the rational sense, a belief in a higher power and reinforcing that belief through spoken prayer, because that's really, at least in my view, what's prayer all about? It's an exercise in reinforcement that we should remember who really controls everything, and it's not us. It's not that it's not that God needs our prayers. It's not that God has some big ego and he's on an ego trip like some musicians that I saw last night. It's not, and like I am right now as well. I have more subscribers on YouTube than those guys have. So, but they were on the 700 Club and TBN, and I wasn't yet. I might be. Shmuley Bateach was on the 700 Club. Why not Joe Kolakowski? So maybe we'll send this to the 700 Club. Anyway. But the power of prayer, I do believe in the supernatural power of prayer, but the natural power of prayer is to reinforce to us our beliefs. And that helps us be better. All right. So why do I think these groups want to control the school? So Nick Muster maybe actually believes that he is doing a favor for these poor kids that he's rescuing from the hands of the fanatical parents and teachers who, let's see, are these folks here? Maybe I can catch a mikvah. I could check and see. Mikvah might just be open. Looks like it might be. Nope. Not today. So, let's hope there's a mikveh at, I can't even see.